What's going on? What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is the third watch right now. It's an awesome time to be alive and to be up, honey. I've been getting notifications that some of my Patreon members are very much so anxiously awaiting what is going to be the official beginning of the end that we're just a few hours shy of. So a lot of people are anxious, honey. A lot of people are up, casting a good witchcraft, honey, doing a good bitchcraft, honey. People are up, sending off they good prayers, honey. There are a lot of people who are really intrigued about the way this is all going to go. Most people are in really good spirits in terms of the overall outcome is going to surely be in Larry's favor. Um, but just the journey and the process and the ins and the outs of what it's going to take to get to the final ruling and what the judge is thinking and feeling and will permit and not permit tomorrow, as you guys know, is pre-trial. It is a pre-trial conference, pre-trial meeting. It's going to be taking place on Zoom. There are going to be a few changes in terms of our experience, but they're going to be subtle experiences. So if you're not, subtle changes. So if you're not in the Patreon, this will be the time, honey, to get your ass in the Patreon. I will be pulling up in Patreon at around 10:45. We will begin to get into some things. I will go over the changes that we found out about like literally tonight, just a few hours ago. But we'll discuss all of that over in the Patreon. So if you want to be able to hear and bear witness for yourself what is going to take place, definitely get your ass over in the Patreon, okay? And I just wanted to come on and just tell everybody there is no reason to be nervous. There's no reason to be anxious even. You know, the scriptures say, be anxious about nothing, honey. I am feeling really good and really solid. I had me a nice piece of nap. I'm probably going to cook me some homemade hamburgers in a few because a nigga hasn't ate all day. And I can surely tell you that Larry almost forgets sometimes that he's even suing a nigga. So Larry literally is so far removed emotionally and mentally. Talk about somebody who is already living the victory of that which is now in faith that's on its way to physical manifestation. Okay, so Larry has been living as though the victory already is won because it has been. So he's in really, really, really good, solid spirits, honey. He's probably gonna wake up goddamn late because that's how unalerted and unanxious he is about the goings on of the going on, honey. Yes, Dream 5:11 Eastern Standard Time. We will be going over kind of some things before show starts in the morning. Also, I will be dropping the link. So my Patreon members, those of you who are in the Patreon, can actually come up, share your thoughts, share your feelings. A lot of the Conscious Crew members have a lot of acute knowledge of the law and litigations, honey. I don't know whether a lot of y'all are ex-cons, honey. A lot of y'all are definitely saints who had a sinner's past, baby. Because y'all know what's going on, honey. So, after it's all said and done tomorrow, and we figure out what's the going on is, honey, we will then, have a discussion about the team. So I'll put the Patreon link in the title of the video for those who are still trying to get into Patreon. And baby, y'all have been filling in the stands. I've just been getting notifications all day for the sign up. Hey Oz, what's going on? Everybody is up at this time of night. I am good. I was up editing for this client. Might just pull an all-nighter. Might as well. You're already there. It's 9:30 a.m. here. It's 9:30 where you at, Ray? Oh my goodness. I couldn't go to sleep until 5. Jesus. Where are you at, Ray? Hey Ralph, are we in the 3rd hour? Yes, we are in the 3rd hour, Ralph. I think you're new here. Welcome to the Consciouztv Kingdom. What's going on, Caleb? I'm a supporter of Larry, King, Miko, and you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Caleb. We really appreciate all of the support. There's a lot of people who are really, you know, they're just awaiting us. They are awaiting us. Nothing will bring a lot of folk joy, but to actually see Bussy Moore held you know, accountable for his salacious, unethical, and unlawful behavior. And you know, what Larry is doing is really dope, because although he's the front runner of this lawsuit, you know, this is just you know, it's still a victory for all, because there's consequences and repercussions to doing the most, you know. And once you get the law to pay attention to a person one time, you pretty much get the law to pay attention. It's easy to get the law to pay attention to them again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Okay, so that helps, you know, anybody after Larry to just hold Bussy Moore ultimately accountable. Now, there's a lot of ins and outs to this injunction. We may hear some of that. I'm not quite sure what all is going to go down tomorrow. I just know that there's a world of possibilities. Don't know how long the meeting is going to be. It's just going to be very interesting to just hear what takes place. It's going to be interesting to finally hear from the judge on some level. It is very possible that we may get an injunction right there on the spot. That does happen, as you guys can see. When I put, let me see if I have the screenshot here. The judge, when he scheduled the conference for the lawsuit, he made sure to let folk know that they need to come to settle. So, and that's what Larry Reid's lawyer was trying to attempt to do when he was reaching out to Mr. Middleton, to Mr. Fred Middleton, who Larry Reid's lawyer, Raymond Bozzery. Mr. Bozzery has not been able to get in contact with Fupa's lawyer at all. But Larry's lawyer went ahead and submitted, you know, what his client desires, etc. She tried to mediate that. He tried to yeah, he tried to mediate. I'm sorry, I got a notification. He tried to mediate with Mr. Fred Middleton, but it is just very crazy that they haven't had one exchange, that the lawyers of both parties have not had one single exchange. And Larry's lawyer has made several different attempts to reach Mr. Middleton based upon the emails that Mr. Middleton has on file with the courts, etc. But there's been no response. And there's been a tacky fouling on Fupa's lawyer's end. And so this is not looking good at all. It's just looking really raggedy, really dusty, really bizarre on Fupa's end, as all things on Fupa's end always look raggedy and bizarre and just weird. Like, everything is always bootleg and cheap. Nothing is ever substantial, you know, nothing is ever what it should be. It's always smoke and mirrors and games being played and narratives being spun, and there's a lack of legitimacy. And so, you know, it's not really surprising. It's actually very true to Bussy Moore's style, both physically, both in the way he just navigates the world. It's just Bussy energy all over. So Fascinating. And you guys know that Judge James S. Gwynn, honey, was really pissed off to the highest festivity when Fupa filed a motion for dismissal and had the audacity to not answer the courts for almost 100 allegations and grievances against him. And even when Fupa was forced to respond, that was even a very half-ass, half-baked, mediocre response. I mean, he pretty much just scratched through the entire lawsuit and said, I didn't do it. I mean, so, which was also a very unprofessional response to, like, this isn't this isn't like your SAT. This isn't your high school SAT standardized testing. It's not a none of the above /D. You are fighting for your life. You're fighting for your, I mean, not that I give a damn that the whole ain't fighting, because it's just like, girl, I mean, yeah, hell, you just helping Larry to just open his arms and walk right on into the victory that the Lord has already ordained on his behalf any damn way. So in a way, it really ain't no point in you fighting. And Fupa seems to, by way of how he handled this whole thing, seem to be aware that there's no point in fighting, because he's fighting up against an anointed man. He's fighting up against a prayerful man. And he's fighting against a man who he's actually committed these crimes against socially, lawfully, etc. And when you're this dead wrong, I mean, your conscience isn't going to let you really fight as if you are truly innocent. It's just like, you might defend yourself to an extent, but girl, when baby, you just goddamn know. Okay? So it's 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 very interesting. And let me pull up this because I just pulled up this docket that I'm going to share, because the judge scheduled the meeting after that's it. He scheduled the meeting, right after Pupa filed motion for dismissal. As you guys can see here, honey. As you guys can see, baby, this pissed Judge James S. Gwynn off. Okay, as you guys can see here, Pupa filed it on the 23rd of January, February, March, April, May of June. And then Larry's lawyer responded like, what the hell? And then the courts responded to the dismissal and dismissed it, and then ordered a case management conference. And here it is in bold caps. Important. The court requires the attendance of all named parties, lead counsel, and representative with full settlement authority, because there may be, in fact, a settlement. Now, once again, that settlement was the attempt at a settlement to bring forth to the judge was attempted by Larry's lawyer. But once again, Larry's lawyer had made two different strides to get in contact with Fupa's lawyers, and to no avail. So that obviously does not look good for Fupa's side, because what Fupa's lawyer really forfeited was being able to reason with Larry's lawyer, since Middleton's client is the defendant in this case. He's not the plaintiff, he's the defendant. So he forfeited the opportunity to reason with Larry's lawyers and to, stab at some lesser blows, to reason and get some lesser penalties as it relates to what has taken place. Why he would not want to take an opportunity to pretty much, you know, talk to the person who's coming down, you know, with full force on your client. I don't know why you would not take the opportunity to say, hey, I know you're coming down, but you know, let's how about, you know, we agree to this, that, and the third. I can get my client to, you know, agree to A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Is that satisfactory to your client? Da 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 da. These are things that lawyers do. Like, this is the purpose of a defense attorney. They're defending you, even when you're wrong. You know, they're defending you, and they might not can necessarily defend your innocence, but they certainly did make an attempt to defend you against the consequences and repercussions, by maybe having as much as those consequences removed, maybe having jail time substitute, and this is just an example, just having like jail time substituted for community service or for restitution. Like, you know, there's various things that lawyers mediate as it relates to the desires of the plaintiff and the defense attorney and their client. So the fact that Middleton has not really been around and has not been present and has made very low effort to defend Fupa is really crazy as hell. The fact that he even thought it was remotely just to what in your mind would have you believe that you had any shot at a motion for dismissal when the lawsuit is literally littered with extreme and explicit criminality? Like, the lawsuit lists the fact that your client, the defendant, has alleged the plaintiff of being a molester, a rapist, a chronic cheater, a woman beater, a extortionist, committing fraud. The lawsuit literally lists your client, the defendant, crossing state lines, pulling up to Mr. Reid's home, taking pictures and videoing himself, which you guys know I played on the platform in terms of like just showing Fupa how rough this is going to be, because, you know, no amount of editing and filtering through your platform is going to save your ass, because the receipts were already downloaded and archived accordingly before this lawsuit even got filed. So everything that he did to try to switch things up after the fact was irrelevant and null and void. You know, we already had everything that we needed. So the fact that his attorney just would see these extreme grievances, and I mean, not to mention how many of them, there are 77, everything from trespassing to slander to defamation to harassment, stalking, doxing, and you decide as a lawyer who's allegedly been in practice for at least 30 years can look at that and say, you know what? There is something in one of these claims that we can maybe exploit to the point of getting you off entirely. What in the entire hell? Like, I don't know whether dementia is at work or Alzheimer's is at work, or, you know, old age is just running its course at this point. I don't understand. And when I did that live and read to you guys Larry's lawyer's response to the motion for dismissal. I mean, Larry's lawyer Raymond ripped Mr. Middleton's asshole completely. I mean, he just plunged in, baby. He just plunged in with no, baby. He forgot to use movement. I mean, he literally, his wig was split when he just saw the mitigated gall of Fred to literally file a motion for dismissal in a case this nuance in a lawsuit this multifaceted that's overlapped with civil, that's overlapped with federal, that's overlapped with criminal, that's overlapped with like there's like so much overlap. And you just decide, we'll see if we can just get. I mean, isn't it? I mean, what Fred did by filing the motion for dismissal was literally equivalent to you being caught red-handed on camera and all. Quadrillion eyewitnesses, they can pull the surveillance footage. You literally got back in the car with the blood on your hands. The blood is all over your steering wheel, all over your car, etc. And then police arriving at your door the next morning to take you into custody, and you saying that you didn't do it. And your lawyer attempting to get you off on not a plea deal, but an actual judgment of innocence. Despite all of the receipts and the evidence piling up like horse manure, like T-Rex manure on your ass. I mean, it's really a very bizarre thing. The past few months have been very bizarre. Hey, Big Rain. He has built an entire case against himself online, and yet they filed for a motion to dismiss, which was ignored and slung back in the face of Fupa. Insanity. Khalib says that man think that he is untouchable, but you are being tapped on your shoulder. Period. That's how the law of reciprocity works, honey. Okay. And now the courts are after that ass. Raph says, tell Mr. Potato Head to help out Fupa on this morning with the shits. He won't be able to because Mr. Potato Head is getting snatched as well. So, you know, as I've been saying for months, you know, it's funny how the A-team been acting like it is just, you know, that Fupa is the one who's being targeted. I done told them folks, this is about all of you guys. And all of you guys participated in the Fool La La equally and sat next to this man and endorsed this man and celebrated with this man and rooted all these shenanigans on and even helped him to do the things that he did. You have the lead doxer, Let Me See Your Neck, who did whole tutorials on how to dox people. On how, I mean, just literally criminals for dummies. Just literally criminals for dummies. And that's why every last single one of them are going to be ran down on. And even the nuance of this injunction, which you guys may get to hear the details of in the morning, is going to wrap the 18 up real nicely and professional, baby. Because if they think that what's being asked is just related to Fupa, they are going to they're gonna find out through me how this injunction also impacts them. So the only people at stake here is not Fupa, as Mr. Potato Head would have people thinking that they're there to support. No, bitch, y'all better have these folks praying for y'all as well, because y'all all received cease and desist, and you all are mentioned in this lawsuit, and you all participated as a group, and you all individually, okay, made comments and committed criminality and participated in this slander for 2 years now. And I don't want to say too much, but all I can say is get ready. Get mother loving ready. Ray says, why did Fupa tell his minions that his lawyer has forced Larry's lawyers into mediation? Dude he just lies. You don't have to this is you don't have to force mediation. Mediation is a natural part of litigation to begin with, but I guess because Fupa knows that I'm out here, really giving a rundown, honey, that he's just not gonna let the truth about the incompetence of his defense attorney go without, a false narrative connected to it. So of course he's going to say whatever it is he needs to say to feel better about himself and to make his supporters to feel better about whatever is happening on their end, honey. They want to hold on to some pseudo sense of control and victory here that is obviously nowhere in sight. There is nothing that has happened yet. There is nothing that has been filed yet. There's nothing that has been honored on. The judge did not honor the motion for dismissal. The judge did not hold the accusers accountable as Fupa tried to get the courts to do by filing a motion for dismissal and get the courts to penalize the accusers that he so-called was, trying to protect. There is nothing that has happened in any of this that in reality gives Fupa any confidence that anything is going to pan out in his favor. There's nothing. There's not. If there was one thing that had happened, I am honest and fair enough as a commentator to say, what the strengths and weaknesses are on both sides. There's nothing. I mean, this is tacky and hella dusty, and his defense attorney has completely dropped the ball. You don't have to force mediation in litigation. Mediation is a part of litigation. Fupa is such an idiot and so retarded and just literally just says like crazy shit, just like Mr. Potato Head talking about a pretrial hearing is unprecedented. I mean, crazy. Like, how do you say this type of stuff out of your dick sucker and literally present yourself as as educated people who have smart parts and who know the law, and yet you feel that a pretrial hearing is how in the heck a pretrial hearing is saying that a pretrial hearing is unprecedented is literally like saying a interview process before official hiring is unprecedented. I mean, that's literally like how stupid and retarded, how ridiculous minded these people are. So Fupa talking about you have to force. You don't have to force, bitch. Your defense attorney is not defending you, as the screenshots prove. Your lawyer has not even mediated. Let's go in his delusional hypothetical cinematic universe. Let's go into the Fupa cinematic universe, honey. It's an alternate reality, girl, where everything is as Fupa says, is the case. Let's go with his cinematic Marvel universe. So in your cinematic Marvel alternate reality, where your lawyer has forced Larry's lawyer into mediation, let's say that happened in your cinematic universe, okay? The fact that your lawyer hasn't even mediated after forcing Larry's lawyer into mediation is treacherous and completely overwhelmingly contradicts the fact that this was strategy and this was pressure enforced on behalf of your defense attorney. Because why would, in your cinematic alternate reality where your lawyer has forced Larry's lawyer into mediation, would your lawyer go through whatever he needed to go through to force, whatever the hell that even means, whatever your lawyer would have did, whatever your lawyer would have done to force Larry's lawyer into mediation, why would he have gone through all that just only to forfeit mediating? Okay, so now let's come back into reality. Okay. Mediation is a part of legal proceedings, even before pretrial hearings. Lawyers vet one another, they trade and cite sources, they see what each other's working with, they go over the case. And defense attorneys also, contrary to popular belief, defense attorneys don't necessarily defend the innocence of their client. That's also the point of trading off information and trading off evidence, because it also informs the defense attorney that their client is in fact actually guilty. So then once again, what the defense attorney does, once they understand that the charges cited against their client is actually legit and founded in reality and not subjectivity, what the defense attorney does from there is now decide how to basically appeal to the virtues of the plaintiff's attorney and try to work. And that's why plea deals manifest. That's why people get paid out of court. That's why people settle out of court. Those are compromises that are agreed to between attorneys. So Mr. Middleton, who is representing Bussy Moore, who also allegedly happened to be married to a felon right now who did 2.5 years in federal penitentiary for bribing nonprofit organizations, who he also represented at one point in time and could not even lessen the sentence or delay the sentencing of his own wife, is representing somebody that he loves a whole lot less than his own wife. So once again, Fupa girl, you in danger, Celie. You in danger, Celie. And the fact that Larry's attorneys know that Mr. Middleton tried to represent his wife and delay and or lessen the sentence when she was literally just as explicitly wrong. The evidence was just as explicitly clear in her case as the evidence of Fupa slander and trespassing and criminality is as explicitly clear. Mr. Raymond is going to keep that in mind. And Mr. Raymond doesn't appreciate that. And Mr. Raymond is going to make sure that the judge is also aware. So that Judge James S. Quinn cannot appreciate a lawyer attempting to withhold sentencing from the criminal justice system, who is designed to bring justice to victims and hold criminals accountable. So, forced mediation. And this is why Fupa only has 3,000 followers. This is why 2 years and 400 plus videos about the same nigga, and all you've mustered up is 3,000 supporters, and 95% of them are blocked and only able to view from the bushes because you just ain't got it, girl. You just ain't got it, okay? Forced mediation. I mean, that is literally comical. Hi, I don't even know what this name is. Hello, madam. I inquired 2 monkeys with free shipping from this location. I have a payment for 1 single month. Okay, I don't know what this is. Deduction amounts for systems. I'm going to go ahead and just block you out. Spam, I assume, chow. Let's see here. Hey, information man, what's going on, sir? Mrs. Bynum says Pupa about to be exposed on y'all's level. You hear me? The beginning of the end, and we're gonna have a front row seat. Period, Miss Bynum. Period, honey. Okay, suffering might endure for a night, but joy cometh in the what, y'all? In the morning at 10 a.m. In fact, Khalib says, "What is Fetty Wap and Skip the Leg going to do now, baby? Baby. I don't, maybe they'll be reduced to janitors for Fupa Nation, honey. Maybe they're reduced to leaf blowers. I'm not sure. If all positions are already filled, or if Fupa Nation is about to go bankrupt and ultimately be out of business. So, I don't know. They may have to apply for EBT and unemployment at this point. We surely gonna see, honey." Mom Goody says, "Hey, Mom Goody, I am wearing my earpiece at work today. So if you're talking to me and my eyes look far away, it's because okay, Mom Goody." Oh my goodness. The panel today was giving me, oh yes, Oz. I was supposed to come live tonight and talk, but I end up sleeping and resting. So we definitely going to review that panel. If you guys did not check out, this is the footage I was waiting for Larry to upload, because that conversation about sexuality was really everything. And I'm gonna save all of my thoughts so when I give a review for it. But if you guys have not checked it out, Yvette Flonder, Bishop Bernard Jordan, George Bloomer, Carlton Pearson, and Larry, having a conversation about same-gender loving people, trans people, the Black church, etc. The scripture, it was just really, 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 really good. Very spiritual. And very scholarly too. I absolutely live for it. And the video was definitely controversial because Larry's comment section, there's a lot of people who ain't ready for the enlightenment that's coming with the new age. But it is what it is. But we gonna get into all of it. Fupa Day is here. Yes, day one, you guys. Okay, I just want to keep stressing that this is the beginning of the end. Okay, so I don't want you guys to have an exaggerative expectation in this case. I don't want you guys to believe that this is the one and done. This is literally a pre-trial hearing. Okay, so this is literally just the beginning of the journey toward the very end. So tomorrow is not, today is not supposed to be a interpretation of an injunction, of an indictment, of anything of that sort. Literally, it's just once again, it's the beginning of the official end. So this is the first time that the plaintiff and the defendant will be kind of in the same virtual space together. And unfortunately, this is the first time that Larry's lawyers will have interaction with Fred Middleton. I'm sure that Judge S. Gwynn is going to probably inquire about that. Why Mr. Middleton has been so removed, but Mr. Middleton may be far removed, maybe because he just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know how to really wing this shit, so he's just glitching up. Or the fact that Fupa just can't afford him. Fupa can't afford to retain a lawyer to pay the level of attention necessary to really get involved in the ins and outs, And this is why a lot of people don't end up suing people, because you really got, if you talk about a quality defense, or even just having a even if you're kind of suing, even if you're suing, whatever it is, like, you're paying for this person's time, all of their time. So it's screaming kind of broke nigga antics to me. Okay, let me scroll back down here. I'm sure they are totally lost in Fupa-verse. They totally are. We hooking up Fupa to the truck to get dragged. Oh, baby. Father God. Ooh, child. Yes, it was, Oz. It was so crazy in the comments. It was wild. Avadi says, I hope he's not allowed on social media for years. Where that's something that would definitely be sought after. It's not just an injunction, but permanent banning, because this is Fupa's pattern. And this is what he was doing even before he ever, tried to, start a raggedy YouTube channel up. He had been on Facebook doing this to Black women, harassing, berating, stalking, and making Black women suffer who were not interested in him romantically and sexually. He would put these women on blast on Facebook and doxed them, etc. So this is something that bled over you know, to his YouTube situation or whatnot, and the fact that Larry is not an isolated occurrence, that he's doxed, you know, everybody who is connected to Larry in one way or another. As you guys can read in the lawsuit for yourself, which is also in the Patreon. You guys can go see the lawsuit for yourself. The lawsuit mentions everybody. You guys remember early on, Shamarko was doxed, Kendo was threatened and doxed. Lisa, you know, has been narrated as a woman who's been cheated on and suffered through abortions and multiple infidelities with Larry, and you know, so there's been a lot of slander, not even just as it relates to me, Miss Miko, Andrea, and Jives, but also to literally Larry's actual family, those who work for him, Kendo, Shamako, you know, Lisa, etc., his children, you know, were also mentioned and brought up and threatened and etc. So there's a lot. So when you have somebody who is this consistent in weaponizing a platform, and when they're this consistent in harassment, like when this becomes their toxic brand of being a social media commentator, it is very, very, very easy. I mean, to get a judge to certainly find no reason why not only a person who literally breaks YouTube guidelines, Facebook guidelines, which is a whole nother issue too, because YouTube, Facebook, Buy Me a Coffee, these sites are going to be held accountable as well for allowing this level of behavior. So you guys should not be surprised if in the coming months you see YouTube revise their YouTube guidelines again, because YouTube keeps having to, a lot of these social media accounts platforms keep having to revise their terms and conditions because lawsuits are happening. People are being sued. And Google is being sued and targeted. Facebook is being sued and targeted over things that take place out here on these viral streets. Now, of course, that's going to make things harder for content creators, especially content creators who don't do that type of shit, because YouTube has no way of really regulating you know, like the individual people who need to be individually reprimanded. So they have to make a lot of broad and general changes to the platform that in fact end up affecting everybody. They end up censoring everybody. And so we're going to see these social media platforms become very censored in order to keep these platforms up and alive and well, because people are under the impression that social media is meant to be divisive and meant to be harmful and hurtful and injurious to people. Platforms cannot sustain business and safety with sponsorships when their platforms are constantly under fire for a lot of the ratchet ghetto ass shit that happens on these platforms. It's not good for business. It's not good for branding, and it's just not good. So you're going to see these platforms revise and revise and revise and revise and revise and revise in their terms and conditions and policies and guidelines accordingly again and again and again because of people like Fupa. So yeah, having him permanently banned is something that is definitely realistic. It's optional, and I mean the judge is just can have a field day, because I mean this lawsuit is really working in 100% of Larry's favor. Right. Reid's lawyer has been trying to communicate with his supposed lawyer, only for him not to communicate back. Yep, that's why we were speculating. You know, has Fupa been falsely impersonating the lawyer? You know, why would a lawyer not respond back unless, once again, Fupa could not afford the goddamn attorney to respond back? You know, I told you guys in the last live, I think that Fupa clearly has went broke And he probably has been only to save his coin to have the lawyer show up possibly tomorrow. Because when niggas living on a budget and a fixed income, honey, you just can't. That's why a lot of people with money end up being able to win their cases, because they have the coin and the resources to go the long haul. They have the money to stay in the fight. Broke niggas and lawsuits don't work out well for broke niggas, okay? It's an expensive game to fight in court. And clearly Fupa does not have the resources. He damn sure don't have the coin to defend himself, and so his lawyer has not been able to. So either he just cannot afford this motherfucker to defend his ass and to respond back, and he just had to make sure that he just reserved the money to have the lawyer show up on the 8th, where it's counts at, or knowing how much of a liar and how weird and how manipulative and how story spinning this motherfucker is. I mean, he might just all out be impersonating Fred Middleton, child. I mean, literally, that at this point, that's what could have happened. But and that may explain why Fred Middleton hasn't responded, because he's like, what the fuck is even going on? He's getting emails about cases that he hasn't even been fully retained for, honey. He might have initially got hired, to have, to file something on Fupa's behalf, and probably ain't heard from Fupa since, because Fupa, has not been able to afford his services since, the first time, and Fupa done got this man's information and might be allegedly impersonating this man. It's a lot going on. I came to talk, baby. Why tonight? Even Legal Shield rejected Fupa. Casey, period. Oh my goodness. Ray says, I honestly am starting to believe that he doesn't have a lawyer. Hey, there's no reason for us to believe it. There's no reason to believe that he does, Ray. There's no reason for us to believe that he in fact does, baby. It just don't look like that's the case, baby. I mean, hell, Fupa might fuck around and be defending himself. He was screaming that in the beginning of this lawsuit. He gonna defend himself, child. He would have saved the little bit of coin that he had he in fact just did that. Had he just defended his damn self, because Fred Middleton ain't did him no type of justice. What the fuck soever. His lawyer has no face. Nope. Only on Facebook, child. But when we, looked him up on LinkedIn and everything, like we did the other day, honey, there's no information, there's no reviews there. I mean, there's little to nothing that's there, regarding Fred Middleton, and his case with his wife going to prison is the only thing that keeps coming up alongside these LinkedIn profiles, these Facebook how your lawyer only has a LinkedIn and a Facebook account, but at this point, 30 years in the game, don't have a professional website, don't have there's no jazz, there's nothing that looks legit. It's just very bizarre that somebody would be in practice this long and they don't have their shit together like Larry's lawyer do. They have official websites, beautiful, well-constructed sites. They have reviews for days, about their services from clients and patrons. So it's just, it's the wow. And then the fact that the lawyer literally, his wife is a fucking career criminal, allegedly. It's just, I mean, it just can't get more strange. I've never, it's Twilight Zone shit. I've never seen something so fucking strange in my entire life. My name is Caleb, spelled Caleb, love you, but pronounce my name. I ain't pronouncing shit right, okay? Caleb, okay? How about Harris, nigga? And that's what your name is, Harris, okay? It is too late in the morning for me to be pronouncing your name right. And if motherfuckers can call me Devon and Davion and Dayon instead of Davion, okay, you can live with Caleb, any variation of it, Harris, okay? Let me read these comments. Google and YouTube should have shut down the ghetto of YouTube long time ago. Yeah, the truth is, a lot of these social media platforms, they don't really pay attention to a lot of the smaller content creators. They don't pay attention to a lot of the communities where smaller content creators are with the fuck shit. These platforms are existing under capitalism. They pay more attention to the content creators and the sponsors who bring in big dollars on big content creators platforms. And so they're more willing to penalize larger content creators because there's more at stake. And the livelihood of the platform is linked to a lot of these larger content creators who give these platforms videos to put ads on as it relates to these larger content creators. So you can get away with quite a lot of shit this far down on YouTube. Because you are less visible and you don't show up as vividly on the radar, you know, when you are a smaller content creator who's with the fuck shit versus a larger content creator who's with the fuck shit. So hopefully YouTube, you know, changes their policies, and they should be integral enough to just reinforce your own YouTube guidelines. You know, half of these things wouldn't go on. It wouldn't be able to go on in the way that they go on if YouTube was just integral enough to just actually reinforce their own guidelines. You know, if y'all have a legit system in place where the bots or whoever the fuck is recognizing things that get reported, if there's a legit system in place, then it would just be one that's working and one that's truly effective. But there are content creators who have literally did, the wildest of shit, and they are still up, alive, and well. So it takes a long time for YouTube to respond to things that happen this far down on YouTube. And what I mean by larger content creators, I'm talking about like YouTube considers larger content creators to be those in the millions of views, you know, 800,000 plus, 900,000 plus, 2 million, 4 million, you know, the Jeffree Stars. And then you also see how much those content creators get away with. Look at how much shit. Well, I don't know if Jeffree Star has been in a lot of controversy, but he's not really violated YouTube. So I can see why he was never penalized. But look at the other guy. Like, who's the other guy from the makeup community? Charles something, the guru who was wrapped up in all of this molestation stuff and sexual predator stuff and blah 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 blah. Yeah. He's still bullying. But once again, I also don't know if YouTube can't penalize people for crimes they commit outside of YouTube guidelines. So technically, you have to do things that, you know, direct things that are relevant, that pertain to YouTube and YouTube interaction and YouTube viewership. I guess you can have open cases and be all types of shit outside of YouTube and still thrive and get a Google AdSense check, as long as you not violating YouTube guidelines, which are really relevant to your behavior on the actual platform as it relates to the platform. Then I guess, you know, a lot of shit can just go under the radar. Let me see here. Hey, it's going on an hour. Is he gone yet? I said YouTube and Google should be held accountable. Yeah, they should, KC. Oh, and they will be. They will be. They're going to get checked in this whole process too, because Larry got two lawyers. Raymond, who is actually representing Larry as it relates to the actual defamation. And then he has Andrew, who is going to deal with the social media aspect. Andrew will be the one to snatch channels, terminate platforms. Andrew will be the one to deal with this, subpoenas and the discovery period if it's granted by the judge. So he will be dealing, Andrew is the lawyer, is this super lawyer in Ohio that specializes in the online and social media aspects of this case, which was necessary since all these things have happened, for the most part on social media. So Andrew is going to be the one to get his knee deep off into Google's asshole, Facebook's asshole, YouTube's asshole. So like I said, it's going to be a lot that's going on, you guys. It's going to be a lot, okay? But that's why Larry has two lawyers. You guys will see Andrew come into play when pretty much when the injunction gets granted. When the injunction gets granted on the civil suit part, then Andrew will step in and then start dealing with social media. And that is where the banning, permanently banning, that's when correspondence between Larry's lawyer and Google will take place as it relates to this judgment against Fupa, and they'll be able to work out what's best as it relates to this notorious, nefarious violator and social media abuser. Oh no. I'm sure they are. Okay, let me scroll down, child. Let me scroll down. YouTube handles white content creators. Yes, they do. Completely different than black and brown content creators. Yep. There's so much nuance and, intersectionality as it relates to the ins and outs of the way content creators experience social media, the way they're treated on social media due to orientation, due to ethnicity, very complicated matters. White supremacy got shit real complicated. So I just wanted to come and soothe you guys. I know some of you guys are up, some of you guys' hearts are racing. Calm down, relax, pray. Victory has already happened above, so it is below. Okay, we're just waiting for the download, child. The Lord stands on its promises, child. So we all good in the hood, and there are going to be some changes. Like I said, I just found out some things tonight as it relates to tomorrow, but we will go over that tomorrow. And so you guys still have time to get into Patreon. The show starts at 10 a.m. So be looking out for your notifications from your emails from Patreon. And we will begin our show. I will go over you guys what the changes are. And then after everything is said and done, I'm going to drop the link and we will be able to, come and talk as a group about, how everybody's feeling about everything so far. And just to discuss what takes place tomorrow and what the future looks like. So we're going to be chopping it up in the Patreon tomorrow. If a complaint was made to YouTube, he would be, so a complaint was, but YouTube requires judgments. They require judgments, not police reports. They require judgments from judges. That's how Bishop Matthews was also able to get William McWig's website snatched down and everything because he was able to submit a judgment. So these corporations deal with judges and judge appointed, mandated, etc. So YouTube is going to move. They're going to move. Google is going to move on behalf of Larry. The domain space responsible for buy me a coffee, all that shit, Facebook, etc. It all get dealt with. But it gets handled off the heels of judgments. The tech world is very racist and downright dysfunctional. Yep. The law is too. All these systems are loopy. That's why you can only have so much faith in them. You still, even in a case like this, because this is happening within the context of a corrupted criminal justice system that's racist as hell, that's about greed, that's about human ideology and moodiness, and judges will just make judgments based on this how they feel for the day. I mean, look at Kamala Harris, who used to be a DA, etc., for San Francisco, and look at some of the grotesque disproportionate sentencing that Black men were enduring for very petty marijuana charges. These men were serving decades, 15 years for petty marijuana charges for non-violent offenses. So judges, so you never really quite know what you're going to get from the criminal justice system. That's why Black Lives Matter resurrected. That's why there's so much frustration around the criminal justice system, because it's not reliable, even when, things are in plain sight. Your assailant can still walk out of the courtroom free. Look at Bill Cosby, who, in his deposition admitted to giving women quaaludes and taking advantage of them while they were heavily sedated, putting his hand up their skirt, etc., molesting them, assaulting them, and sometimes not even disclosing to them that there was something in their drink, and literally admitted to this. But he was allowed to provide that testimony in exchange for his freedom and being able to settle out of court with victims, but was technically guilty of these things. And so you just have a lot of guilty people who are free. You have a lot of guilty people who are free in the world. They did the things that they did, but because, once again, even the criminal justice system, as black and white as it's presented, and it's based upon laws and immovable virtues, those virtues are ultimately still executed by humans who are completely unpredictable and can be totally full of fucking shit. So you still have to pray and do good witchcraft in situations that even involve the criminal justice system. You still have to utilize good witchcraft even when even when the law is involved, and even when all the goddamn evidence is on your side, because these systems, as long as they're governed by humans, you cannot bet 100%. No matter how much things technically look like they're in your fucking favor, and it shouldn't be that way, but unfortunately it fucking is. Fupa ain't got Fupa ain't got Cosby cash. Fupa ain't got Cosby swag. Fupa ain't got Cosby legacy. Only thing Fupa got is Cosby's overlapping belly. That's it. The difference is that VP Harris didn't prosecute those cases directly, and those were the laws on the books at the time. Laws that she had the authority to challenge, laws that she knew were in place, laws that she could have challenged, and DAs have a lot of authority. Like, they literally have the power to reopen cases. They have the power to have cases re-examined, retried, etc. And so the fact that a lot of that shit happened under her watch and there was no incentive for her to use that shit as a catalyst to bring awareness and to bring change to what clearly is just, that's completely egregious. That's like beating your child to a bloody pulp for making a bad grade, versus a spanking. It's like, and to not have a conscience and to just sit back and allow people to be disproportionately sentenced and to be like overly sentenced and overly punished is ridiculous. We have people who spend less time in prison for violent offenses than we had with some of the people who were sentenced under her rule for non-violent offenses. I'm just like, girl, what? You know, I don't make no excuses for these people. I just, you know, because ultimately, like, what is the point of these positions? Why the fuck you in this position if you're not there to be human and you're not there to be fair? Like, you know, like, what's the point of human supervision of laws just to sit there and ignore them and have nothing to say about the way that they're executed upon? You know, it's just like, I could not imagine being in any of these people's positions, being district attorney, being lawyers, being politicians, being judges, being legislators, because I just don't know how people just allow, you know, these laws are impacting literal lives of humans, like human people. You know, you should have a conscience about that. These are human beings, right or wrong, they're fucking human, and we should make sure that the fair is executed appropriately as it relates to human beings who break the law and break various laws for one reason or another. And there's no way that I would have been able to be in her position as a district attorney and be aware that people were spending 15, 20 years in prison for nonviolent offenses and petty marijuana charges, and go to bed at night knowing that somebody is literally in fucking prison, in whole entire prison, in the entirety of prison. You know, while men who done beat the shit out of women, while rapists who done, I think, Nicki Minaj's husband, I think, didn't even do 20 years for his rape case. I think Kenneth Petty only did what, 7 years, 4 years in prison for raping that teenage girl at the time, allegedly. And yet you got people literally in prison for drug related offenses. Okay. That bitch should have fought mother loving harder, honey, because she was just windmilling, swinging at who, swinging at what, you know. And the fact that I found Kamala Harris' presence to be so fascinating, because not only does her district attorney track record look flunky as hell, but there's so many very interesting components that I find really controversial about her, about just her and her political posture. Like, the fact that she's not interested in reparations for Black people, only things that could benefit all Americans, as if reparations for Blacks don't benefit all Americans. Reparations, depending on what's interpreted and translated as reparations, if they increase the overall well-being of that community is able to then properly contribute to societies in ways that make them strong contributors to the economy of the country, to the business of the country, because you provide the resources for communities to actually liberate themselves. So how can America be a melting pot where everybody affects everybody in America, because America is one big melting pot, and then say you won't do something for a community because it wouldn't affect all Americans? Like, what, girl? But you know, I understand that this election, first of all, I don't even do elections. I don't give a fuck about presidents. I don't vote. I would never vote. I would never really ever yield to that lane because it's clearly bullshit. But I also understand that this election was not about quality choices, that it was just about getting Donald Trump out of the way for a lot of people. So it just is what the hell it is. Bitch Harris don't have a conscience. These people are weirdos, you know, but you know, hey, shout out to Ms. Harris, y'all. I can't wait to see his reaction. It will be freaking epic. Me too, Big Rainy, but we are going to have to agree to disagree when it comes to VP. Okay. Everything else is cool, her rise to the top and her education and her just her story is really inspiring, just being a child of immigrants and coming over here from another country and just navigating the American sphere and Ivy League schools and etc. It's the story, it's an epic underdog story for sure, but there are definitely some very questionable aspects to Mrs. Harris. But once again, all them people, y'all presidents, child. I'm just talking about y'all presidents, my president. Oh my God. Yeah, you can still complain, right? You know why? People who don't vote can still complain because they still live in a system where their tax-paying dollars go into this country and provide for this country. Because non-voters are still law-abiding citizens who contribute to this country, whether they vote or not. Voting is a right, not an obligation. And the whole issue of voting is also very interesting when I don't even want to get into all that. But for people to say that non-voters don't have a say-so over the dynamics is wild. I get to have a say-so over whoever is given authority in this country, whether that authority was given by me or given by someone else or given by the majority. Because you actually have authority over me, I get to critique the hell out of you. And that's exactly what it is, a damn critique. And as long as this country ciphers my money out of my checks in my coin, regardless of whether I hit the voting booth, oh, there will be shit for me to talk, baby. That will be a point blank and a period. I will always be obligated to say and critique any area of this country and its so-called leaders and authorities because I live here and I contribute to this system. If you have the ability to vote, no, I mean, people have the ability to do cartwheels and ain't gonna cut no flip. I have my reasons for not voting. I appreciate the fact that, well, voting hasn't changed anything. I mean, people voted for Biden, and now y'all having jabs mandated. People voted Trump out thinking that it was going to cure up the issues, and we still have people dying in police custody. Nothing has in fact changed. The country is still raggedy as hell. The country been raggedy as hell. Our ancestors have been died and shed their blood for our right to vote, and we have still had to march. We've still had to protest. We've still had to die out in these streets. We've still had to boycott. Nothing has changed. We're fighting the same demons every generation that the previous generation has fought, and we keep trying to do that through voting, which we also keep being completely disgruntled and dissatisfied with. People wanted Michelle and Obama there, got Michelle and Obama there, disgruntled. People hate their administration. People made a big deal over them endorsing LGBT this and blah, 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 boom, got him out. Trump seemed to be a saving grace because he didn't give a damn. He was for the people. He's going to put the power back in the people. He got there, turned the goddamn country upside fucking down. People that got his ass out of the way, now they with Biden and baby. People just ready for the rapture to come now. So ain't no generation. I ain't heard one generation of blacks particularly who have been satisfied with their government while having their right to vote. And even when they got the candidates in office that they initially voted for, have never remained satisfied with the administration. Fupa ain't slept in a week, and he damn sure ain't sleeping. Now that bitch is up on Hennessy. That bitch is up on cheap vodka. That hoe is mixing Capri Suns and Four Locos together, honey. That bitch is on 5-hour energy drinks, manic. Probably taking a stroll around the neighborhood, girl. Restlessness. I mean, if there was any hour that the hoe was gonna be wide-eyed as hell and manic as hell, it would be tonight, today, baby. Okay, it's all type of scandalous things going on in that basement right now, baby. All type of Pornhub tabs are up on the computer screen, baby. It's just all type of salaciousness that's happening, honey. There's all type of energies and anxieties and deliriums and disorientations, baby, that are transpiring, baby, because the hour, honey, the hour is upon thee, baby. So I can only imagine, baby. I would not want to be a part of Fupa's support system right now. I'm sure that them hoes is hot as is having all type of exclusive prayer calls, girl, in these goddamn secret groups and private groups they be having on Facebook and shit, bitch. It's probably a 24-hour prayer call open, child. That whole, I would not, baby, I would not want to be that whole friend right now, bitch. You was not about to have me up all night motherfucking long, talking salvation into your spirit, girl, and having to read the Bible from the Old to the New Testament, girl, just to keep you hopeful and leveled in this thing, bitch. Ain't no way in the hell. Nope. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, he be like, someone told me, you get the same reminders we are. Girl, ain't nobody telling Fupa shit. That bitch is subscribed and notified, baby. That's why that hoe knew to jump up out of his motherfucking sleep at 1 a.m., girl, and lose the entirety of his goddamn brain, girl. Because when I went live, baby, all they phones rang. Fupa didn't even know what was going on with his case until I go live to talk about his case, girl. He don't even be knowing what was it. He don't even be knowing the left from his right, honey. So, I'm sure that hoe is up, exhausting everybody, girl. You know, I hope he pays some folk good goddamn money because it is a hell of a time to be Fupa's friend right now. I'm sure that bitch is emotionally exhausting everyone who is trying to keep his self-esteem intact right now. What's going on, Classy? Girl, I'm up because some of the Consciouztv members was up, child. They fidgety, honey. People fidgety and everything. I probably need to take me one more goddamn nap before I get my ass up. Because I'm gonna be visual. I'm gonna be visual today. In the Patreon for the meeting. Now, once again, y'all, there are some changes that we're going to make because we learned some things tonight as it relates to the meeting. I'm going to go over those things with you guys tomorrow in the morning and everything, but we will be getting started at 10. So once again, keep your notifications on and everything. I think I'm going to go ahead and set the watch page for it so you guys can go ahead and roll in at the time. So be looking for a link to drop and Patreon. Matter of fact, I could have been creating that right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and create that right now while I'm up here with you guys. But we're just up here chatting it up, child, just talking, having loose conversation about the case and everything. Everybody is in good spirits, anxious spirits, spirit of anxiousness, a spirit of anticipation. Like somebody said in the Patreon, girl, it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas all over again, the Christmas night, baby. Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see, what takes place. Oh, and I'll save that for my Patreon commentary. I'm not gonna give that away over on. I'll save that for Patreon conversation. Let me see here. I want to create this watch page for you guys. in the Patreon, so you guys can go ahead and set your reminders and already have like a space to pull up in case I'm just a little late or whatever. Y'all can still be in the building conversing with each other. And once again, tomorrow we're gonna be getting the 411 on what's going on, and we are going to I'm going to drop the link so that Patreon, so that we can all, so people can share their thoughts and share their feelings about what's going on and what happened and everything. So it's going to be good shit. It's going to be good shit. And of course, I'm going to be giving you guys a breakdown of what everything means that happens tomorrow. Okay, so you just stay feeling good, honey. No need to be anxious, honey. Victory is already ours, honey. We're just waiting for the download, baby. We're just waiting for the download, honey. Victory has already happened in the spirit. Okay. It already been ordained by heaven, okay? We're just waiting for it to ooze on over to the earth plane, okay? That's why patience is a virtue, child. Let me make this watch page. Let me make this watch page. Okay, hold on, y'all. I should have stayed my ass asleep because I'm probably going to be dragging when I finally get up. Gonna be dragging, child. Dragging. Girl, what if we get an injunction, y'all? What if we get an injunction today? Y'all, wouldn't that be freaking nuts? What if Judge go ahead and just shut shit down right on the spot? Now, I told y'all can see from the lawsuit, Larry wants a trial. That's what Larry wants. Larry want a whole trial, child. Let me stop sharing the screen quick. Larry wants a whole trial. He's not necessarily looking for a one and done situation, but the judge got the final say so, but the judge is gonna show a lot of favor to Larry because Larry is the true victim in this case, and his lawyer has acted professionally and ethically as it relates to the filings, etc. Fupa's team fucked all the way up. His lawyers fucked all the way up. They did shit to piss off the courts, to piss off Larry's attorneys. There's not been no correspondence. I mean, so Larry technically got this really in the bag, but because these affairs are governed by human child, we still need to pray and do good witchcraft, okay? Because you can't put but so much faith in man, girl. Man will let you down. So still got to do good prayers and good witchcraft, okay? I'm creating instructions. Watch page. Okay. Hold on, let me fill this little crap in here. Boom. Pew, 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 pew. Hold on, you guys. This here, let's do it. Okay, let me schedule this. What time? This will be for 10 a.m. today. Yes. Create broadcast. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta make this let me see this. Okay, boom. Okay, I just created it, so now I'm going to upload thumbnail and then drop the link in the Patreon. So all the patrons, all of you guys who are in there, you guys can just hit this link and go ahead and set your reminders or whatever if you want to. And so when showtime starts, you won't be sitting around for an email per se. You'll go ahead and get your YouTube notification, etc. Even though you're still going to get an email because I'm still going to alert everybody on Patreon. Okay, honey. Because there's a hater on the line. Let me get it one more time. Next caller, bitch. Okay, he gonna have to stop lighting this motherfucking cigarette up because I can't do it. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta go. Give me some rest, cook me some food, chill, sit my fat ass down. I already got my outfit together for tomorrow. Honey. Let me see. Somebody just sent me something. I saw Johnson had the heart to tell him. So somebody just sent, one of my street committee members sent me y'all a post that Fupa made, I guess, somewhere. I guess it's on YouTube. And it was 20 hours ago. And it says, I think this is on Facebook. And it says, first of all, why is this picture? Why he look so busted and disgusted? His lips all chapped and shit in this screenshot, child. But it reads, I just awakened from my sleep. When I lived in New Jersey, I witnessed an elderly man leap to his death off a bridge. His body was never found. His son saw my post about it on Facebook and contacted me for a description of the man I saw jump. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was his father. He described the man perfectly. For years, I have suppressed the image of him jumping. For some reason, it woke me up tonight. I pray for his Fupa already going through his manic ass episode, child. He already, girl, all type of goddamn trauma and shit is. See, when you done fucked up like this and you have anxiety and the Lord starts convicting you, what happens is all the psychic barriers become undone on your subconscious, and all the shit you suppressing, all that trauma, memories you ain't acknowledged in years, all that shit comes up. That's what anxiety and guilt and shame and conviction will do, honey. It'll unlock the closet door that holds all your nightmares. So Fupa already, honey, and who even knows if this is true, girl? He like to play the victim and get. He loves to try to act like he got a George Zimmerman complex, girl. He loves to try to act like he's always in the middle of some shit, girl. Always in the middle of saving some shit. Always in the middle of like always trying to get people to feel sorry for him. The big bad boogeyman loves to pull these sympathy cards, girl. And even this right here is just, girl, a manic ploy, okay? To get people to humanize him, because he know that this court situation ain't gonna work out in his favor, and he trying to distract the folk. Him and Todd trying to come to us with a scheme to distract the folk so that people can be sorry and empathize. Oh, poor Darryl, he witnessed a man kill himself, and the trauma and oh my God, this poor man. We gotta be understanding of Darryl and his fuck shit. Fupa been through, busted more, been through so much. He lost his daddy, and then CTV killed his dog with witchcraft, and then he witnessed this man in New Jersey, 50 million, 11,000 years ago, leap to his death, and somehow, for whatever reason, the boy randomly. How is it that a random man leaps off a bridge in New Jersey and the man's son magically, somehow, out of nowhere, for no reason at all, sees your Facebook? Facebook don't even... Facebook algorithm doesn't even work the way that YouTube algorithm works. Like in YouTube, you cannot be subscribed to people and see shit on your homepage. On Facebook and shit, you're going to only see those you subscribe to and you friends with. You're not going to be able to see their posts. Other people's posts don't show up on your homepage if you're not friends with them, if you're not following them. So how in the hell would this random boy find your page of your vague description of some man you randomly saw leap to his death, and then doesn't even mention that he called the police and that an investigation opened up, that he reported a man leaping. What, you just saw a man leap to his death, you just went home and you spoke about it on social media, you spoke about it on Facebook years ago? Like, what? Like, it's girl. In the words of Phaedra, Apollo, get away from me with this. Get away from me with this. Get away from me with this. The manic, delusional, grandiose ass, over the top. Like, he always in some over the top situation. It's always epic. It's always like heartstring pulling. It's always like something that he just, you know, it's always for the sake of just like putting on your emotions in some kind of way. Get over yourself, Fupa girl, okay? It ain't wake you up, girl. You was sleeping with your eyes wide open the whole time, girl. You can't get to sleep, girl. Not that you woke up. You can't get to sleep. Okay, Miss Bussy. Just nuts. Just like it's always so action oriented with him. It's always so action. Everything has to be juiced up to the most extreme. Everything is a Lifetime movie, girl. Everything is just like, girl, are you okay? Like, you're not okay. Like, the fuck? Girl, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I won't. I can't. I won't. And I won't. And I can't. I can't. And I won't. Like, I just never have seen somebody so damn desperate for attention. Girl, just lies. Just lies and lies and lies, girl. Anything for anything, baby. Any damn thing for any damn thing, girl. It's just, you know, and the crazy part about it is if Fupa had to be taken to court for all the shit that he claimed ever happened to him, if he if he had to be held by any legit system, he would do the same thing he had to do in this lawsuit with Larry. Deny. The nigga he knows that he lies, honey. Hold on, let me fill this thing out, child. I am literally fucking screaming. Like, girl, are you freaking K? Hold on. Set reminder for live in the morning. I just can't, honey. He witnessed a man leap to his death, and then the boy just randomly finds a random description by some random nigga in New Jersey of some random elderly girl. I won't. I just can't. I refuse. I can't do this to my brain cell. That's why I can't listen to this fool. I can't watch this fool. I can't. My brain cannot take it. It's untakeable. He is untakeable, girl. Okay. Post this to the Patreon. Okay, patrons, y'all have y'all watch page link. Hey. Sorry, I'm like, hey, Gemini, what's going on, love? Good morning. Big Randy, he's a professional fuck shit artist, period. He watched a gut leak. He watched a gut leak to his death, and then screaming. He ain't no damn professional actor. He ain't even an amateur, baby. He's a professional, a professional extra, honey. Okay, a fucking professional extra is what that hoe is, child. Hey Pam, what's going on? Well, he's a professional actor, baby. Okay, Big Randy says Fupa is being irrational, believing that CTV plays some crazy spin upon his dog. Both his dog and father were up in years. Death usually comes with old age. He's cuckoo. Fupa is manic and he's weirdo, honey. That's why the dude was bored as Neighbors #5 in live. I saw Lottery Ticket. I don't recall his wide back ass in any of the scenes, girl. That goes to show you how short-lived that clip was, baby. Maybe what? I tell you, he's an extra for the intermediary, like, transitions in movies. Like those transition clips where the camera, like, pans to the left real quick. the camera like shows one side of the street and the other side of the street. Like he's like in between all of them, all of that, girl. He's in the nook and crevice of the movie, to the point that his presence was essentially not really necessary, girl. Other than them needing civilians like on the sidewalk, you know, to show that the city wasn't a goddamn ghost town. Okay. He thinks he is the center of the universe. He's the center. The only thing Fupa is the center of is this goddamn lawsuit. Okay, he's the center of this lawsuit. Okay, this is his real big first starring role, and he's not even happy about it. He's manic and crying and begging Larry to take down and not go through and drop the suit, trying to get the court to dismiss. But Fupa said he wanted to be a star. So you know, this is just a free publicity. Okay, I don't know what's wrong. Why would he? Because he crazy, Tiffany, and trying to dramatize himself, because he knows that this lawsuit is coming down on his ass, like it's coming down like his credit score is on his ass, and he's trying to get the people distracted, trying to get people to feel sorry and to look at poor Fupa, this fat hoe who's now a fat skinny hoe with all these goddamn issues and traumas, and has been so victimized by life, and he's just, you know, ended up in such vulnerable positions in life, and how unfair life just is to poor Fupa, who's just minding his poor low credit score business, just walking through New Jersey to his low credit score ass apartment with his curbside furniture, and just happens to be in proximity to a man who was taking his own life off a bridge. You know, I would argue that Fupa, that this was an internal experience. Fupa probably was suicidal this day and was daydreaming about being, okay, a man who leads to his death, okay, because he is manic, okay. He sees visions of his deceased aborted twin girls, and you know, he suffers from these type of delusions and hallucinations, and so he probably was just daydreaming, girl, on his way drunk from the goddamn bar from cheap liquor and vodka, and having one of his manic episodes, and was just thirsting, overtaking his damn life. But you know, that's like way too honest to admit. So instead, it becomes a story about some other man who took his damn life. Okay. Making himself look questionable, attention seeking, child. Ray says, I barely get notifications from my friends on Facebook. Fupa is full of it. Just like, how does somebody not friends with you see your random post? That doesn't even happen. That only happens on Instagram and only happens on YouTube. You know, you can, you know, because those platforms are designed to promote like outsiders. So you see people you're not subscribed to in your timelines. But how does somebody find you years ago, girl, on Facebook? And what are the odds of this boy seeing a post from a man, some random man who witnessed some random man leap into his death and thought that the post fit the description of his father, and then never talks about getting the law involved and opening up an investigation and reporting the scene? Girl, the way Fupa wrote it up was just like, girl, he saw this and just went home and suffered and cried. And then this boy just randomly contacted him about what he reported to Facebook to get attention, okay, but didn't report to the local authorities. Girl, I am so confused. I just can't do it with Fupa. I just can't. I can't. I just won't go. I just won't go. I won't do it. I won't go. I won't do it. I won't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, y'all. Right, Pam probably read the damn story and was like, you know what? Look at all these people supporting the story in the newspaper or on the news. Look at all these people, you know, supporting this person who saw this. This is my story. He was attracted to the attention that the story got, child. It made it his damn story on Facebook, okay? The bitch is acting. He be acting like the memories are his. He be acting like the experiences are his, girl. Yeah, he's an actor, all right. He be acting like the circumstances are his, girl. Be pulling from the local news, be pulling from the local newspaper. Just ridiculous and crazy and over the top, and everything is always deep. Hold on, y'all. Okay, but I gotta get up out of here, child. I got to haul ass. I got things to do. Let me read real quick. I wonder, hey Atia, what's going on, bisexual and proud? I wonder what he been doing all day. He mighty quiet. Anybody manic, scared, praying. When people are shook, honey, people become a recluse. They pull it all in. They get real tight. It's like stage fright, you know, when all that rah-rah goes into complete mute, you know, complete mute, you know. So somewhere drinking profusely, smoking profusely, drugging himself out profusely, whoring himself out profusely, masturbating profusely, running up, let me see your neck, and Mr. Potato's Head goddamn prepaid minutes, girl, on they straight talk plans, girl, just driving folk fucking crazy, girl, keeping his ass off the edge. Okay. Next thing you know, he gonna find the golden ticket from Willy Wonka, baby. For 2 years, he has been preparing for his grand premiere and debut before Judge. Not for 2 years. Not for 2 years. Right. Pam. Fupa's only alleged in his mind. Is that the dead kids he's always talking about? Yes, honey, be seeing them at his stand-up routines and things, child. It's just a hot mess. Yes, he said he suffered damages from CTV. Oh, you definitely suffered damages from CTV, ho. The way that I gave you that motherfucking work over the past 5 months, baby. Damage was definitely occurred, but just consider it time served, Fupa. Okay? Girl. You wanted to fight, and okay, you initiated, you got your ass whooped, okay? You're not the victim, girl. You take your ass whipping on the chin, bitch. You definitely incurred damage, honey. The intent was to give you your energy back, okay? So if you didn't like the energy that you received back, okay, that lets you know how some people experience the energy that you gave, okay? So take it as a lesson learned now. Now that you know what your own antics and your own energy feels like, when it has to be boomerang back to you, you can use that to expand your emotional intelligence, okay? Like, ooh, let me not be this ugly again, because if this is what that feels like, I don't want to do that to people, because I don't like the way that it's, I don't like the way that it feels being done to me. You know, that's how it works, you know? That's indeed how it works, girl. And, you know, to be quite honest, girl, we still reasonably taking it easy on you, ho. I mean, yeah, really, girl. Really, we are, okay? Really. Mm-hmm. What time is it where you are? It is 5:19 where I am. 5:19, Pam. It is 5:20 Eastern Standard Time. Yep, me and Pam on the same time zone, y'all. He can't stand people talking and making videos about him, so he going to really go crazy. If he, yeah, and ain't no if. He definitely going to one way or another because we got a backup for the backup, honey. Okay, videos going up. Period. A lawsuit is the least of his worries. He's liable to be. Period. Like it's like, girl, you were worried about the defamation, bitch. You had to be worried about these the criminal aspect, honey. Okay, because that's a whole situation in and of itself. Okay, cyberbullying is a thing. Okay, and platforms and the government are creating laws around it because social media is life right now, and this bitch done violated all of them. Okay, he done completely personified, embodied cyber bullying. Like the poster child for cyberbullying could be Bussy Moore, okay? Bussy Moore the second, okay? Because there were those who came before him who paved the way, girl. So Bussy Moore the third, Bussy Moore the fourth, girl. Case study. The government gonna be able to use these situations, use his antics to create the laws necessary to protect civilians and patrons from abuses like this. What's going on, Lewis Franklin? What's going on? Lewis Franklin, your name. Oh my God, Louis, I just realized where I know your name from. Andrea, right? You Andrea Peoples. Bisexual said 4:20. I'm at work. Oh, where you at? You an hour behind. Are you in Texas, bisexual? Are you in Texas? Good morning, Nicole. What's going on? Hey, Miss Harris, how you doing? Good morning, sugar. Pam says the FBI is all up in this period, all up and through. Okay, Classy says yes, because I honestly believe CTV helped back on Fupa, save it for T.S. McMillan, baby. These people ain't seen the worst of it yet. I told them, girl, we still just like thrashing y'all back and forth across the room. We ain't even got to the official, blow by blow by blow in the uppercuts, baby. This still the hair pulling. So if you stressing through the hair pulling, this only the hair pulling part of the fight, girl. We ain't got to like the open fist and the closed fist blows. Okay, this is just us grabbing you by your pigtails. Okay, this is us grabbing you, by the collar of your neck and slamming you into the walls. Like those correction officers used to do to Fupa when he was jailed. Okay, allegedly for bashing a handicapped child upside the head with the brick that got his teacher's license revoked. Okay. Just join. Oh, thank you so much, Seal McMillan. Oh my God, McMillan, are you relatives to the Mr. McMillan himself? Are you a cousin, a first cousin? Are you a uncle? Are you the stepdad of Marcellulites McMillan, honey? What's T? Lewis Franklin is one of Fupa's minions. Really? Oh my goodness. Lewis Franklin, you from the other side, child. You from the other side, darling. You come to see what your master is not articulating, honey, because your master over there is mighty quiet, girl. So y'all gotta pooch on over here, girl, and get the tea that he ain't gonna give to y'all, because the loser never want to talk about that part. They can talk about everything else, honey, except for when the odds not in their favor, baby. Okay, then all of a sudden, ain't nobody got nothing to say. Oh, Oz, thank you so much for your PayPal, baby. I had got your donation to Oz. If you're still here, thank you so much for your donation, girl. That 4444, baby. I be seeing it. Praise you, and God bless you and the family for sowing, okay, into the anointed one, baby. God bless you. Let me see here. Pamela says, good morning. I am joining as soon as I drop my husband. Okay, husband. Okay, other car in the shop. Okay, honey. God bless those repairs. We'll be loud, live, and in color. What's the Patreon? The Patreon is in the title, Nicole. It is also in the banner that's playing across the screen, but I'm going to type it into the chat real quick. It's basically patreon.com/Consciouztv, but you got to put the HTTPS in front of it as well. I just put it in the chat, so that's the Patreon link. Sign up there. We'll be pulling up at 10 a.m. Child, loud, live, and in color, doing some praise and worshiping, honey, getting the mood and the energy right, talking about some things. We will be dropping the link, having a group discussion about what takes place tomorrow. There's also going to be some changes that we just learned about tonight. So I will be going over those changes regarding in the morning with you guys on Patreon as well. Yes, Louis Franklin is big time Fupa. What? Oh my goodness. I guess, baby, I guess the kingdom is getting desperate, honey. Oh, people is running from Sodom and Gomorrah, honey. They flee in the city, baby. The asteroid impact is coming, baby. Folk is running for coverage and everything. Will there be a replay? Yes. On Patreon, you will definitely be able to replay again and again. It works just like a YouTube does. So you'll be able to replay it if you're not able to be in the building at the time. You will, as long as you're part of the Patreon, you will be able to go back in and see. You know, you'll be able to go and look at it and listen to it. So even if you miss you know, it in real time. So it will be up for all to hit the replay button on. Oh my goodness. Mom, goodness, yes he is. Jesus. Well, that explains why he has me blocked, but Conscious can. Can you see? Yes, I can see Louis Franklin. He hasn't said anything. He just put an X in the chat. He hasn't said anything else. I thought Louis Franklin was somebody else. But okay. Let me see here. They block mods so they can come in acting up, but CTV can see. Yes, honey. Even if y'all block my mods and think that y'all going under the radar because they can't see y'all, the rest of the Conscious crew also be with the shits and know who y'all is. Like that's why the other Conscious crew members was like, that's the dilapidated ones flying monkeys. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to get under the radar, baby. Okay, the eyes and ears are strong over here. Okay. You won't be able to get on the radar, but he ain't got disrespectful. You know, I don't mind them folk coming over here. You know, as long as they acting accordingly, okay? Because we know that hoes is coming. We know that Caroline is seeing the light. We know that folk is seeing the light. We know that folk is having revelations as this thing pans out. You know, we know that people done changed their tone since a few months ago, honey. Okay, we know that folk done all of a sudden, you know, ain't talking about the accusers no more. Ain't nobody making videos. Ain't nobody rallying behind Fupa like they was at the start of this thing when they thought he was on to something, honey. All them people who was hooping and hollering and acting like, you know, Fupa had a story and everything, baby. You know, it's a ghost town out here now. It's a ghost town out here now, honey. You know. There done been people who done, you know, came from the other side and made apologies and everything. So, you know, we welcome folk to, you know, work out their salvation in fear and trembling, baby. You know, they're teetering that line, baby. You know, God is working that thing out in some of them folks. So, no, okay, you in St. Louis. Okay, I got people in St. Louis, bisexual, biracial. I got folk right up in St. Louis, honey. Seal McMillian. So it starts today at 10. Yes, just confirming. I want to make sure I'm locked in. Yes, I just posted a Patreon. So if you're in the Patreon, yes, you know the show will start. So and I will also send out a notification on Patreon, which will notify you through email that we on. So we will be in the building, honey. Hey, Juju, what's going on? We ain't taking no refugees. Y'all not gonna be hospitable like Lot them was in Sodom and Gomorrah when they was letting all them poor folk, you know, just seek refuge in their little cottage and everything as they running from the soldiers and running from the devastation. We ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna be accommodating and hospitable like that. You know, that might be the only thing that made God favor us, you know, because we was, you know, because we righteous folk, you know. Sodom said, well, hold on, you know, maybe there's 20 righteous men in the city. 10, 7, 4, 2, 1.5. Babe, okay, Lot was trying to work that thing out with the Lord, baby. If I find half a righteous nigga, Lord, will you spare the whole city, child? Can we do it like that? Don't that sound like a bargain to you, Lord? Yes, God. What's going on, nutritionist? Hey, babe. What's going on, love? Taking no prisoners. If they look back, they turn into salt anyway, period. And most of them gonna look bad, honey. Huh? Most of them folks strive, you know, they can't quite let go, girl. And see, not quite letting go would get you killed. That's what the scriptures was trying to highlight about Lot's wife looking back, is not being able to make a solid decision, not being able to choose your side, like the Old Testament said. The Lord spews out the lukewarm. No fence riders, you pick a side, because trying to be double-minded and both-handed, okay, it'll get your ass killed out here. It'll get your position fucked up out here. You fuck around and get left behind, okay? You missed the rescue chopper, okay? Trying to hold on to both lanes, baby. Okay? Pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. No, tell them to look back since they want to be salty. Ooh. Ooh. I co-sign that. Ray says, hell nah to the nah to the nah. They need to stay there. Oh, Lord. You see what y'all done did? Fupa-lets. Okay, from the Fupa-verse. Fupa-lets from the Pupa-verse, girl. Y'all, my people is done with y'all, honey. They don't have a heart for y'all, girl. They gave y'all 2 years to get y'all minds and souls together, and they feel like it's a little too late, honey. Okay, you can't grab on to the ankles of the saints who is rising up to meet the Lord in the air, girl. You know, you just gonna have to stay and be left behind for the tribulation period and endure all that you done sold. Okay, it ain't no room on board this rapture ship. Okay, that's what the Consciouztv members is saying. Fupa-lets from the Fupa-verse. Okay. Y'all waited too long, honey, to be baptized in the name of clarity and sensibility. Okay, now we ain't got no room on board no ship, honey. Okay, the doors are locked. The doors are closed, baby. The rain has started to pour. Okay, and Nicole Harris just signed up, you guys. Shout out to Nicole, baby, in the building. Okay, in the building. We full like the ark, baby. I am screaming. You know that when Fupa loses, they are going to make. Oh, yes, they are, child. Y'all might as well expect a whole influx of refugees, baby, from Fupa-verse, baby, pouring in, honey, to the nation, child. Pouring in, y'all. Pouring in to Consciouztv Kingdom, baby. They're gonna try to scoot up in here and go unnoticed, girl. They're gonna hope that nobody knew there was a part of Pupa-verse. Okay, they're gonna try to act like they've been here since day one, y'all. Like how about them Redskins, y'all? How about them Redskins, honey? Okay, the Fupa-lets, baby. Okay, it's gonna be a diaspora, honey. Okay, baby, they're gonna spread, girl. Spread across the continents, baby, finding a new home, sugar. You know, but I hope that y'all just don't transfer environments. I hope that y'all just don't find y'all new homes. I hope that y'all understand what went wrong. I hope y'all understand what you did. I hope it's an actual learning experience about not jumping on the bandwagon and being more loyal to a content creator rather than being more loyal to the facts, you know, and having enough integrity, okay, to even give the person you don't like due processing in the court of public opinion, because not liking the person is not an excuse, okay, to run with unsubstantiated shit. It's not an excuse to not recognize that what's being presented to you is unsubstantiated. You know, so I hope that y'all just don't just transfer the location, but bring the same demonic ass spirit and the same flawed ass thinking into some other foreign space, because all you're gonna do is recreate recreate your banishing from the kingdom. Okay, it's got to be true repentance. Yes, honey, y'all can jump them in, honey. Y'all can baptize them with them hands and feet, honey. Get the monkey stomping them hoes, honey. If they want it bad enough, honey, they'll take an ass whipping. They'll take an ass whipping, honey. If it's real, show us that it's real, Fupa. And do that ass whipping, honey. You gotta show us that it's real, honey. Oh no, we're not accepting no negative fuck shit over here, period. They can be baptized in the lake of fire. They sat under their homesick leader way too long. Go on with him. His true. Oh God, baby, classic queen, baby, is queen of the night. Classic queen, baby, is pouring out the wrath upon the four corners like the angels in the Revelation, baby. Baby, okay. Come to punish and chastise, baby. I ain't mad, because you know, Fupa, y'all did a lot. Fupa, y'all did a lot, child. Y'all participated in a lot for no reason. Nobody ever did nothing to them folks. Them folks started all this. Folk still was slow to respond, slow to act. People was diplomatic, honey. Tried to handle things like grown folk. They ain't want no grown folk resolution. Just, you know. And y'all was with supporting, just fuck shit for no reason, honey. So, if y'all not welcome and invited, it's rightfully so. Y'all got a lot of proving to do, Y'all want to prove, you know what? If y'all, this is what happened. If y'all want to be able to walk away and repent and be welcomed, y'all can't just show up in chats. Y'all have to openly rebuke Fupa. All y'all who leave in Pupa-verse need to make videos, acknowledge your wrongs, like Big Harlow did. Okay, take accountability, stand in your shit. Okay, openly rebuke your current cult leader. Okay, and really put yourself on the line. Don't take the cheap route to repentance. Okay, don't take the route that don't allow you to go unscathed and unharmed. Okay, because if you mean it, if you for real, you be willing to really make it right, and all this shit happen in public. Therefore, all things should be made right in public. Are you in Hawaii? You are live? No, I'm in South Carolina. I'm just live because I had took a nap and I woke up, and then some of my patrons and conscious crew members couldn't sleep because they was anxious. So I said, let me go live and just keep folk company and have a little chitter chat and everything with folk. I would love to be in goddamn Hawaii. That would sound real nice to Lisa. Some can be redeemed, but the ones like Lewis are pure hate. Ooh, and negativity to the lowest vibration. My God, y'all making me want to just scroll up and go ahead and ban Lewis. Shit, because y'all know I don't watch them folk over there, so I don't really be knowing to what extent folk be with the shits and everything. Let me go and find Lewis, honey. We're just gonna go ahead and ban you from the kingdom, girl. Okay, the conscious truth is really not feeling any of y'all reforming y'all selves and y'all converting y'all selves. Convert and go on somewhere else. Okay, so Lewis Franklin, I just posted his comment on the screen, child. Lewis Franklin, girl, I'm gonna have to, unless you apologizing, unless you taking some accountability, it really ain't no reason for you to be up in here, honey. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and block that ass. Okay, we have banished a Fupa from the Fupa-verse, honey. Okay, the Fupettes got too much pride to admit the wrong they done, and that pride is gonna keep them bound, baby. Okay, it's gonna keep them completely bound. They just gonna go ahead and drink the red Kool-Aid, okay, and go down with the little. I mean, might as well, have some damn loyalty. You know what I'm saying? At least, you live together, you die together. Okay, that's how I do it, child. We start as one, we go down as one. Let me see. Scroll up. Okay, so we had a 2 hour. I was not meant to be up here, girl. I'm going to be 2 through in the morning. This is the morning, but I'm gonna go, y'all. I'm gonna bounce on up out of here. Y'all got the link. Patreon link is in the title, child. 10:30. We're gonna go over some things and everything. I look forward to seeing y'all. Pray over James S. Gwen, honey. Pray that he woke up on the right side of the bed. Pray that he has, the wherewithal and the bandwidth to see what needs to be seen, to understand what needs to be understood. And that, you know, that he's really full of a lot of justice, full of a lot of justice. Yeah, Seal. We in there, child. We in there, Seal. We is in there, honey. So I will be seeing y'all in a few, honey, over in Patreon. Those of you who are not able to be in the Patreon, just wish us luck. You guys know I'll be giving some commentary and everything over here too. I ain't gonna leave y'all hanging over here who over on YouTube, but you know, the meat of the potatoes is gonna be over in the Patreon. So I love you guys. Okay, got it. So Lewis is gone. Fupa is gone, honey. He's been banished back to the underworld, honey. Okay. Wow. Got it. Okay. So I love you guys. I will see you guys in a few. And good morning. Peace.